Good day, students. Today we want to solve problem that deals with balancing of chemical equations. Balancing of chemical equations is very important in chemistry because you'll be given some equations that are not balanced. You'll be told to balance them, and in some cases you'll be given reactants and you'll be asked to provide the products, balanced products, that is balanced with the chemical reactions in the reactant side. What you need to do is to look at the number of moles in both the reactants and the product sides and see how the two are being balanced. Let's see what's on the board. Balance the following chemical equations. We are given potassium triiosochlorate 5. How do that to give us potassium chloride, that is solid, plus oxygen, that is gas. Okay, let's see how we get chlorate 5 here. Let's see, potassium, the ion on it is 1, plus the chlorate, that's what we are looking for. The oxidation number is the one at the middle. You can see it. That's why we are picking the chlorine. Is that okay? But when it's chlorine, but when you are naming it, you say chlorate because of naming. Okay. Now let's see. We have 3 times the ion on top of oxygen is minus 2 equal to 0. We equate it to 0 because there's no ion shown on top. Sometimes you might be given negative like this. In that case, you equate it to minus 1. Is that okay? But the ion, the anion that is on this oxygen is minus 2. But when you are giving minus here, you equate it to minus 1. But the minus 2 is still standing. 3 times minus 2, or equate whatever you have at the top. But in this case, you are not giving anything like negative, you equate it to 0. 1 plus chlorine, 3 times minus 2, that's minus 6, equal to 0. Okay, now chlorine plus 1 minus 6 equal to 0. We have chlorine 1 minus 6, that's minus 5, equal to 0. C equals to 0 plus 5, which is 5. Okay, it's 5. That's why we name it as potassium triiosochlorate 5. Okay. Now, what if it is an acid? You start naming from here. Let me say you're having HNO3. You don't need to say hydrogen, no, because an acid, just say triosonitrate 5. This triosonitrate 5 acid. You end it with acid, triosonitrate 5 acid. Or in this case, say potassium because it's not an acid, it's a salt, potassium triiosochlorate 5. Now what we have to do here is to balance the equation, the chemical equation. We're having potassium here 1, you have 1 potassium, 1 chlorine, 2 oxygen, 3 oxygen. What you need to do to balance this, if you put 2 here, you're having 4 oxygen. There's no way you put 2 here, it will not balance, because this it will be 2 times 3, that's 6 oxygen. But what you need to do to balance, just introduce your 3. When you introduce 3, you have turned the oxygen to be 6. You come here to make the oxygen 6, you add 2, because 2 times 3 will give us 6. Now at the reactant side, you're having 6 oxygen. At the product, you're having 6 oxygen, but adding 2 here, it has affected potassium and chlorine. Potassium chloride, it has affected it. You have added 2 here. What you need to do is to add 2 at this side. It's balanced. You're having 2 potassium, 2 chlorine, 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen. Now let's go to the second part. You're having one carbon, at the reactant side you're having one oxygen, two hydrogen. We don't need to add any molecules by the side, no need, it's already balanced. Sometimes you'll be given a chemical reaction that is balanced. They want to know, the examiner want to know whether you really know what you are doing. It's not compulsory you should add the moles, just look at it if it's balanced or not. Question 2 is balanced. Let's see the other one. We have this ammonia, because we're having 3 here, but if it is ammonium, there will be 4 here, ammonium, but this is ammonia. Okay, how many nitrogen? 1 here, we're having 2 here. Hydrogen 3, we're having 2 here. Oxygen 2, we're having 1 here. What you need to do so that we balance it, if you put 2 here, you have turned this hydrogen to be, this one will be 4, but if you put 2 here, this one will not be balanced because it will be 6. This point, what you need to balance, always try to look at these 2 sides. If you put 2, there's no way you put 2 to balance this hydrogen again. But if you put 3, for example, 3 times 2, 6, you see that immediately you add these 2 here, you can get 2 times 3, which is 6 of hydrogen, which is balanced with this 6 of hydrogen. 3 times 2, which is 6. But immediately you add these 2 here, the nitrogen is affected. You're having 2 nitrogen, okay. Come to the other side, you're having 2 nitrogen, is balanced already. But what we are having is that the oxygen is affected. You see that we're having 3 oxygen, we're having 2 oxygen. That means that something needs to be done. Instead, you now clean it. That means that the 2 will not, you have to be looking at this side so that it's being balanced. Okay, now what are we going to put here so that this other side will also go along with it? Now let me say I put 4 here. If I put 4 here, what will happen? See that nitrogen will now be 4. 4, that's 8. Hydrogen will still be affected. Okay, let's first of all balance the oxygen. Let me say we put 4 here, let me say 5. Put 5 here. You put 5 here, that's 10. It won't go. Let's put, if you put 2 nitrogen, 2 nitrogen, 6 hydrogen. Okay, let's put it like this: 2 nitrogen, 2 nitrogen, 6 hydrogen, 6 hydrogen. Okay, we need 3 oxygen here. What are we going to do? Can have 3 over 2. That's 2. We cancel these 2. We give us the 3 oxygen. Okay, you can do it like that. That's 3. You can cancel these 2. It was 3 over 2 of the oxygen, so that we left with 3 oxygen, 3 moles of oxygen. So that this one, when you have something like this, 3 over 2 oxygen, 2 cancel these 2, to be 3O, which will form 3O. 3 oxygen is balanced. 2 nitrogen, 2 nitrogen, 3 over 2 oxygen, 2 cancel 2, 3, 6 hydrogen, 6 hydrogen. Let's come to the fourth one, copper 1 sulfide. How do you know it's copper 1 sulfide? It's 2Cu plus the ion on this is minus 2 on sulfur equals to 0. 2Cu equals 0 plus 2. 2Cu equals 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 2A1, 2A1. Cu equals to 1. That's copper 1 sulfide. Copper 1 sulfide. How many copper do we have here? 2. We're having 2 here. Oxygen is 2 here. Oxygen here is 3. Now to balance it, when you put 2 here, you'll be checking the reactant and the product. You have turned this one to be 4. Oxygen here is what? 0 plus 2, that's 3. Let's add 2 here. That's 2 plus 2 oxygen, that's 4. You're having 4 oxygen here. 4 carbon, 4 copper, sorry, this copper, 4 copper here. Let's add 2. When you add 2 here, the sulfur will be 2. Okay, let's add 2 here. When you add 2, you have turned the oxygen at the product side to be 6. Now change this one to 3. Let's look at it again. 4 copper, 2 times 2, 4, 2 sulfur, 2 sulfur, 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen. Is 2 times 2. This 2 is affecting this oxygen likewise. 2 times 2, 4 plus 2, 6. This is the end of our class. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can have access to the latest video. Have a wonderful day.